Hi, it's Chris, and welcome back to the C. What do we have on the show today? We have a few boxes, one I've already cracked into, and one from Mr. David down in Kentucky, and we're going to be taking a look at this in a second. The whole box is taped. It does have cardboard handwritten address labels, so I will be not showing that. This box comes to me from the fatherland, and this is from Mr. Conrad with a note and very, very great calligraphy. Hey Chris, hope you remember me. Sure do. I figured you're out of stock on your Coca-Colas by now, so here's a new batch. I gotta do my share to keep these Amigas alive. A freaking 10-pack, dude. You're awesome. Panzerschokolade. I sent you two things. One is my poor A500 RAM expansion. It's dead. One of the things is black. I assumed it fried somehow. Could you bring it back to life for me? If not, just ditch it. I'll live. The other thing is a gift for your Amiga collection. It is an external BSC PCM-CIA to CD-ROM controller that I used on my Amiga 1200 oh so long ago. You plugged it in, you can attach a CD-ROM to the device, cable, and start your Amiga. It would be recognized by Amiga OS as a CD-ROM. I hope it still works and you can find some use for it. I'll keep digging in my cellar. Maybe there are some old gimmicks to be found. Have a great day. Have a great time and keep saving those Amigas, sir. Best regards, yours truly, Jay. So, Mr. Conrad, thank you for the Panzerschokolade. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. So here is the BS, wow, just a small cable in case, you know, you have a CD-ROM next door. That's like 2 or 3 meters. Alpha Data BSC A1200 PCM-CIA controller for external CD-ROM for your 6 or 1200, and it's a simple chip, PCM-CIA, and IDE cable. Now I'll have to figure out how you use this and possibly put a shorter IDE cable on it. This is like from a tower or something. Really long. Thank you for that. And this thing, which looks like a 501 clone, one of the RAM chips has decided to bite the bullet. They look like 256K16s. I'll have to take a peek, and yeah, it's literally fried. We'll take a peek at that in another episode, but I just wanted to thank you because my videos are spaced so far apart. I was out of these. I love these. I have already ate a tin. I'm sorry, you know, but if you've ever had these, or if you haven't had these, jump on the old Amazon and get one of these. Coca-Cola, it's a cola nut. It's not pervitine like the good stuff. Double layer tin of awesome little triangular pieces. Cola nut caffeine. It's kind of like a Red Bull in a piece of chocolate. So you eat 3 or 4 of them and you are good to go. Thank you for that. Before we even get started with Mr. David's, today's interrupter is Mr. Kevin making some kind of eggs and hash browns, potatoes, something. We're going to bust out the letter opener.
That's not a knife.
There is some foam on the top. Always cut away from yourself. We'll do that way properly. Now, thank you, letter opener. Address cut out on, and some captain tape. Hope that's not an omen. We have a 68040, Amiga 4000, and no note. I don't know what's wrong with it. 1 second, let's fire up the old Google box. Hey Chris, I got your email through YouTube and apologize if it was the only way I knew how to contact you. I'm in need of my 4000 Rev B as well as the CPU board. I'm certain it needs a recap. The board looks good. I have wiped it down and cleaned it with IPA, but it needs attention. I know you said you do the repairs for free, but honestly I'm not asking you, and I intend to pay you and would love for you to check out these boards. I have attached pictures to the board showing where a capacitor's fallen off and there's some corrosion near a chip on the CPU board. I've already snipped off the battery to prevent further corrosion, and I said, does it work? Does it just need a recap? You know, 4000s are fun. I said, all that stuff is free. if it needs like the AGA chips, which are stupid expensive when it becomes an issue, I can cover most things. The problem is finding them in working order to fix these. If she's a working girl and just needs a tune-up, I can knock them out fast. And he says, well, it flashes a color spectrum, sticks on a light gray screen. So, this is a Video Toaster 4000 that was apparently from a news center, and it's been cleaned. It looks good. I don't know residual damages down in the old 177 area. It is green. I'm hoping there are no traces broken because that's fun. The Bridget looks okay, as does 891. It's a little crusty, but it looks okay. It could have been cleaned. I don't know the status of it. Christmas cards. That ain't been out ever. That's like frozen in the thing. I'm going to pull the plugs out because I have a habit of losing these things. Mr. Steve, if you're out there, I got to fix your audio and I lost your contact information. So reach out to a brother. It has everything soldered to the board, including the Superbuster 11 soldered to the board. Great. VTL, Lisa. Never even saw that one. All the chips are elsewise are CSG branded. So before we get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a known working CPU. This one. This is my 6830 no FPU. It is jumpered for internal. And I will wiggle said jumpers all over the board. Just give them a up and down to, you get two pins that get corrosion on them. They can be stuck in a non-connected state. Wiggling them kind of sands them and lets you rejuvenate them a bit. This is a Linux Jedi thing. Half of them. It's a battery-powered tester. You use it when the Amiga is not running. I will turn off this overhead. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the chip RAM, which is your backmost socket. Now these are fragile as your grandmother's back, okay? Because their plastic is 30 years old, and yeah, so you just push this button and you look for the green lights. Wow, awesome. So that is good. That means the circuits aren't rotted out, but that's just chip RAM. Let's go 891. Good. Now there are two address lines that are non-connects, and the 4 for parity over here, they're not connect, so you're always going to see those too. Alright, if you shove toothpicks in the side of your RAM arms, it will help hold busted in. These are not broken. They are extremely hard.
That's my joke, damn it.
So the RAM looks like it's checking out. That's the half in them. You can get it from Retro Supplies. All one word. Is that focusing? I hope so. It's the half in them. A Linux Jedi based brain tester for the Amiga 4000. I'm going to look at the bottom and I'll tell you why I do this before I fire up, and we're going to do this too. This is the Amiga 4000 6-pin power connector. It has 6 legs that can be cold solder joint broken. What I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to grab some solder from Radio Shack circa 1968. I was just a wee lad at age 0.1, and I'm going to add solder to these 6 points and thicken her thighs up. The dog hair is free. I just fill her up. Give her some thick ones. You know, that's like all popular nowadays, big old fat ones. We don't know how much power it's going to take, but we're going to slap 600 watts into it. Man, don't tell me another frackin' screen of death. God. That's not a low high. That's not a bright. That's another dead board. Is it CIA's? Is it the Buster? God, what are you guys doing to me? I'm going to let it sit. I'm just going to let it sit. Let it sit. Your free Amiga is effed. That's why it was free. Doesn't go to a bright screen. It goes to a bad CPU screen. The same thing we dealt with on the last one, except another Buster chip. It's still dead. It is still dead. That's why I tested it with a working CPU. Now, if it's been dead this long, missing a cap on 107, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 1 of 7 are silk screen incorrect. Doesn't matter, the board doesn't work. That's not a white screen, my friend, that is black screen. What we call CPU death. I'm sure these ROMs are welded to the board. Jeez whiz. Oh god. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to use my little chip puller. This is a Wera model 127456. It's a little hook. It's like a chip puller that's safe to do the twist with. Diagram 2. Here we go. What do we see on diagram? Do we see diagram? Please. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, God. Good. It's just a ROM issue. Well, come on. Well, I can't. No key press serial don't work. Mouse, okay. Stuck mouse button. Blah, 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 blah. Right click. Can't right click. I can press a key. Alright. System info. Stuck keys at boot. None. Well, I couldn't click anything. I do notice this. The LED now flashes on diagram when you're doing memory tests. So this will scan slot 3 down to 1, and then so last slot first. We'll get the 4 megs at the end. That's why this is throwing errors. Can you imagine if this diagnostic ROM was out way back when? When I get my time machine fixed, I'm grabbing Hertel and Haney and we're going back in time and fixing this shit. I'm going to take Amiga on a Raspberry Pi 5 and give it to them, and your history will be altered. Alright, so the memory's good. Again, I have to figure out why my right click don't work. That's unique. Never saw that before. I ate some chicken. Go figure. I want to try and zoom in here and show you how I do this. I've shown it 100 times. I'm going to try and get the camera like over the top of me. So let's just do this guy right here. I want to show you. So I put my finger on it. Yep. Spread her legs. Give her a little, right? These are the cutters from Harbor Freight. Push down. Don't cut your finger, but single swipe. Pull that cap off. You're left with this aluminum thing. Cut this again. Okay? Just cut it. And then you can peel it all with the same tool. Open. Okay? There. That's the aluminum bottom part. The ring, I call it. Don't yank. You're left with a plastic ring and 2 nipples. Right here. You gotta cut off. 1. I got them both in 1 slot. No, I didn't. 2. Then this little plastic piece will pop up, revealing 2 rotted legs. At that time, I will debraid. But that's what I mean when I say cutting caps. Everybody's like, don't cut them. Trust me, if you have an acid damaged board, this way will save your bacon. I've done over 600 videos where I fix computers, and 90% of them I have done this. It wasn't until my recent WepTools acquisition require a set of hot tweezers. And I don't always use hot tweezers when these things are rotted. Because if you have rotted and you go put hot tweezers on there, you're just going to A, burn the board, B, screw it up, C, the acid 8 bullshit that this is going to utterly destroy and lift a pad. You're going to gouge the shit out of it because you're going in there with tweezers and you can't see nothing. So that's what's going to happen. So that's why I do this way. These things are hard as rocks, by the way. As you can see, there's green and acid damaged schmutz here. See all that crap I'm pulling out of her? It's got some junk underneath, but look at this pad right here. Alright, that is the audio section. You're thinking, good God, that looks like horrid. Yeah, it does. Still pulling schmutz out. I'm going to, again, alcohol this and fiberglass pen it. I'll do it right-handed, which is not my hand, just to brighten these up so you can see. You can even do this ground point right here. Make it up nice and nice. You can run over, capacitors or resistors, anything you need to
freshen that solder up, get the green off of it. LM883 op amp up here in the top. That's your secondary op amp. Did you know your 4000 had 2 op amps? What does the 883 do? I think it's high band impedance or some shit like that.
As you can see, we didn't lose a single pad. I did it all live. Everything's clean. And yeah, sorry for the extended capacitor lesson, but teach a man to fish is better than relying on somebody else. And there's my damn phone. The 3640 C105 doesn't even have its negative, which is now its positive pad, because it doesn't exist. The others are really crusty, acid damaged, so that's another reason I snip versus hot air, because it would never come off, or hot tweezers. Yeah, all them girls came out clean. C102B is the ones that kills these cards. The cap leaks, it goes into a little hole that goes to the inner layer and bonds out one of the pins, basically bricking the board. You can buy the ASIL replacement boards and just transplant all your crap. Amiga Rochester does that service if you're interested. These came out clean. There was one pad that was destroyed from a rotted capacitor that didn't exist anymore. There was nothing even to remove. It's 2:02 p.m. by the way. When do we start this? 8 o'clock. 3:55 p.m. 20 new red top Nichicons installed. Later. 5 caps on. This was the one with the busted positive now, and I just turned it up on an angle and attached it to its little corresponding feeder dot. So that 2 megs of chip, 16 megs of fast. Let's go right to the audio. Let's turn this on. And audio. Is your op amp bad? You're darn tootin'. Some voltage off of the op amp. There's 2 sides to it. One is 12, one is not. So that's this pin is plus 12. 12.27. This pin is negative 12. Negative 12.45. So proper power is being sent to the op amp. The op amp's just rotted out. I did try to retin it. It doesn't work.
You have a broken ferrite bead right at the right audio channel.
Well, CPU works in that mode. Now I'm going to put an 030 in it. So I'm going to go back to internal. Why, Chris? Because I need to get some information off of the scope, which I'm going to have to do these pins down here to see what we're working with, and I can't do it within 040 because it covers it up. Okay, so I have an 030 in there now. I put the original diagrams in. We're hooked up, and we're turning it on. That's the serial side. The original diagram. I just need the experimental test CIAs. This does the power NTSC. I just need to see if it's dead. This board is jumpered in NTSC.
Shit.
I'm jumpering the board in PAL. Gotta do a damn CIA. Yeah, they're $100 a shot, right? They're $59 anal logic, but it's about $50 to ship them to me, so they're $100 a shot. CIA experimental, which is good. I love this test. Farts. Why is it not booting? Let's do something stupid and just squirt deoxit on them. Why? I don't know. They're soldered to the board. That's why I like to have the serial hooked up, so I can see the serial side. Alright. CIAs with deoxit. Oh yeah, my mouse is getting weird. Yeah, I got a bad CIAB. 5:54 p.m. and I'm going to eat some dinner. I'm thinking about gyros to you Yankees, and extra tzatziki sauce. That's what I'm thinking of. But I gotta drive 30 miles to get them. Fat man will travel.
Would you like some chicken? I've got more.
No thanks.
Hi, it's 8:10 p.m. and I can't leave well enough alone. So when I took the CIA off, I noticed right here is black. This pin is what looks like floppy control. Select 0. Huh. I wonder if that's why my floppy's not working. But why would that prevent the board from totally not booting? There you go. It's not perfect, but it's all connected. There's a lot of flux. You can see clearly. Those micro tips help out a lot. Now, Just so you know how big it is. There you go. That's a finger. That pin does now make contact. So the odd CIA is now okay. The one I didn't touch is now broke. Too tired. It's freaking 9:30 at night. I'll work on this tomorrow. Give up for the night. I put the other socket in. I can't stop. I can't stop. I don't know why. It's something about I don't want to fail. NTSC fast, PAL fast. H sync. Alright, is that good enough to get an Amiga kickstart going? I don't freaking know. Look at that. Whoop. Look at that. The light is on. Let's do tracks are tracking. We got disk drive access again. Holy crap, it freaking worked. I scared it. I went to get IDE. Look at that, dudes.
Mortimer, we're back.
ATK. Let's do the CI freaking A's on this. God, we're okay. We live. Everything's okay. Whew. We're in PAL. That's fine. All tests passed. Holy shit. That got me. At 9:46 p.m. I know the op amp's toast. I know it's gonna either sound like total butts or not sound like anything at all. So much so I'll hold the... You can't hear it. I do have a DF0 terminator. But there you go. Another Amiga has been saved. This is number 329. 329 Amigas have been saved. 2 4000s in a row. Both needed CIAs. This one is toast. I need to retest it. Is it toast? It failed every single test I ever threw at it. Socket or no socket. And this one's working. Do I want to take it apart again and risk breaking it for a $100 CIA chip? Nope. But with no IDE, the 4000's looking for anything it can. And then it's finally like, alright, I'll show you the kickstart screen. Next day, 6:52 p.m. So what I'm looking at is this top right pin here. This top right pin is supposed to go to this thing right here. But it does not. If the 4K resolution will even show it. There is a wire that runs from this point, goes around to left out. It is busted right here on this corner. That to that. I just went bip bip. It was ripped here and it was ripped here. I got the wire in and then I found that it was broken right on the hilt. It was broken on the ring. So we said, okay, I'll do that. We already had a wire here going over the top. So if I got one right here running when we did this pin, we might as well do the other one. Alright. That broke. So these caps, the cap here and the cap here and the cap here leaked. And they destroyed all of the pads underneath the op amp. And yeah, that's great. But I have voltage ref here, but I need it here because bloop. So I'm just gonna loop a piece of wire on these two. 3 steps forward, 1 step back. And listen. Hear it? We got some busted, whoa, God, we got some busted stuff. So we're back working on the 4000 from hell here. Alright, it was Jonathan. Today's interrupter is Mr. Jonathan talking about Kevin's new news video. Hilarious. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Hold and modify. I'm going to start with checking backwards. So we'll start here on the left audio. And we have a bunch of resistors. Now I have a junk board out for comparison. So on the junk board, top resistor is 990. On this one, 1000. It is a 103, so 1030. So, pretty good, right?
The fourth one is really chewed up. It's a, I don't know, 14.82. So 1482. This one is 472. And the number is 472.
There's your problem.
There's a problem. Now this resistor is really tore up. And I've already solder masked the area of runs, and so that's one. This 102 here also we gotta check. 513, I got the audio system all ripped apart. All the resistors are out of here. I got the ferrite beads out. I had some continuity issues between raw left, raw right. Raw left, raw right, but they're being bonded together. So it's not working. That's probably why, and I gotta put all new resistors on and fix all the traces, which I've already fixed, and you can see wires of galore, top and bottom. I went through all the resistor networks on the bottom also. That's fun. I did find on, oh god, R406 to C462B here is bonded together. It's bonded on my test board, but it wasn't here, so I put a wire in between them. Just like that, it's been 24 plus hours. Nothing's changed. I turned the monitor off so it didn't run all night. Upstairs is still arguing, the dog's still barking. I spend more time trying to get this board to be in frame correctly in this camera than anything. So we have from here, we had from here, but we didn't have that. And I would have never known that was broke because the resistor arrays were there. All of the traces through here have been gone. Had to get another parts board. This one's seen better days, but it has at least a Buster 7 and a Ramsey 7 and some logic left. ROM sockets, cal, RAM. You see a bunch of clock chips, a lot of sockets for gals. This was a lost cause too. All the majors are gone, all the ports are gone. I think this is one of my Amigas. So, and this is what we have a finished, I hope, repaired resistor array and wiring right here. That's probably out of focus because this camera's doing great. And that's that. Low high. I heard some audio shit. I heard a click, which is great. Damn. All right. Audio. Yes. Yes. Let me record this. Yes. Yes. That's a good feeling. God. That was a lot of work. Let's turn on 500 hertz. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uniform sound, and it is all rocking. Holy God. So this one was a CIA, a crystal, a op amp, a recap on the CPU, a lot of wire work in the audio system, re-solder masking to only alcohol it off, to take it off, to redo it. All new-ish, newer than it had resistors from 2 donor boards, and redo all the traces. The one that got me was the busted mothers between the resistor packs. I would have never found them. These lines right here, that bastard and that bastard were broken, along with this one, and several underneath. Capacitors leaking eat the softest material, and that's the copper traces. And there's, 6 capacitors in the audio area, so do your math. Whereas, where the hell's audio area? So there's 6 capacitors, 7 if you count the through hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you got 8 in the glass beads. But I mean, 6 in the area. Holy God. And it's all fixed. It's 9:23 p.m. on Omnibot's clock, and it's 9:25 in real life. And that, my friends, is that. The second Death Black Screen 4000 has been repaired. So by the time this comes out, Mr. David will have his board back in action, and the audio is now working. The Amiga is now working. My power cable is flaky because I have to have it at the perfect angle, and I've hot glued it in, and it's just, I need a new one of these. ASIL Paul gave me one. That one wasn't wired right, and it wouldn't work on any power supply I ever put on it. It didn't look like this one did. Its wires were in different positions, so I don't know. It had thicker wires, which was great, but it didn't work. So, yeah. So I'm going to leave it jumpered. I'm going to jumper it back to NTSC. I like it in PAL because pretty much every software is for PAL. I'm doing that right now so I don't forget. You're going to see a wider screen and now an NTSC Amiga 4000. I'm going to butcher this. Graphics look great. Yeah. Oh, God. Get it. So this has a mega fire where I can adjust the speed. Now to have my weapon, I gotta turn it off so I can get that. Alright, well, as you can see, it works very well. I am not good at this. Audio is perfect. This gameplay does glitch because it's loading and you'll see some graphic crap. It's not the Amiga, it's the ADF version. Doesn't do it on WHD load. So that's it. Another Amiga's been saved with your help. Thank you, supporters. Thank you, Patreons. And thank you, everyone who watches this. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a like, a comment, a subscribe if you're not. I would humbly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.
Remember these words. Make Amiga great again. Please help Dr. Chris continue his fight for as little as $1 a month. Or more. Thank you and Godspeed.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?